Hello, hello, hello. This is Dolores and Tony's channel, and today I am in the kitchen and I want to bring you along with what I am doing. So let's get started. So the other day I made some seasoning and I thought I was recording and I wasn't. So this is what I made. I made some Sister Soul seasoning, and for those that don't know, my family call me sister. I'm the oldest girl of 12. Some sister. So this is the season that I made the other day. I made it on the 24th. I don't know why I put the 25th. It was late at night when I made it. So it could have very well been early Christmas morning. So that's what I have on there. And let's get this show on the road. So the first thing I did was, if you've been with me for a while, you know that I do a lot of dehydrating. So this is my garlic that I dehydrated. And so I'm going to use 1/4 of a cup of garlic powder. And I'm using this as my mixing bowl. So I put my 1/4 cup of garlic in there. And then I do have high blood pressure problems, so of course this is not going to be as salty as what I would have purchased from the store. And that was one of the things that I'm on the quest, is to make my own seasoning. So that's 1/4 of a cup of garlic powder, and then I'm going to use and this is 1/8 of a cup of salt that I'm going to use. So get that. And then, as before I come to my final step, that I always taste it to see if I need to add something or take it away, and I keep it on a measuring scale. So when I want to duplicate the recipe, I will. And then I have some turmeric that I've got out of my front yard, and I dehydrated it and I turned it into powder as usual. So for that, I'm going to use a tablespoon of turmeric. And this is just something that I like playing around with when it comes to measurements, and doing my own seasoning, tweaking it as I go along. What did I like, what I didn't like about it. It's a tablespoon of turmeric. That to the side. Then I got my my ginger that I dehydrated as well. Also got it from the front yard. Oh, you talking about smell good. Oh, my. It smells awesome. So, make sure it's flat. And that's a tablespoon of that. So a tablespoon of my turmeric, a tablespoon of my ginger, and then I use where to go? And that's some celery that I dehydrated this year, and this came from the celery that I purchased. No, I didn't. I grew some. Tara gave me some, but this is what I grew in the front yard. So we're going to do a tablespoon of that as well. So pretty easy to follow as a, huh? And you talk about good. My. Alright. Put that back to the side. And then I use some sage that I grew from the front yard. A lot of people don't like sage, but you can sneak those ingredients in by, putting it in your mix or what have you. And so with that, I'm going to put 1 teaspoon teaspoon of sage in there. 1 teaspoon. You'll never know. You know it's something, but you won't know what it is. But you know, and in the kitchen and as well as in the garden, it's just all about experimenting, right? And this is my lemon powder, and I made that from the lemon peel, dehydrated. And for that, I want a stronger note of that, so I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of that in here. I'm going to use this is the habanero peppers that I grew as well in the front yard. So we're going to put, Tony don't like it really spicy, however I do. So we're just going to go light on the joker. And we're going to put 1/4 of a teaspoon. And you know habanero is hot anyway. And when you talk about the, on the Scoville scale, I think it's hotter than, it's 300-something thousand on the Scoville scale. And then I put black pepper in there. And I'm using 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. Again, you know, you adjust it to what you like and the flavors that you like. And so, since I've been on this journey of growing my own herbs, I'm just testing out a lot of things to see what I like. And I got some dehydrated onions that I'm going to put in there. And that's going to be 1/8 of a cup as well. And that's my dehydrated dehydrated onions. Now, let me talk about onions when you're dehydrating. Sometimes it depends on what kind of onion you're using as to it caramelizing. And if it caramelizes, it'll have your mixture in clumps. So be aware of that. And I know that if you see how this is staying together, it's going to clump up. So you have to shake it more often, depending on the type of onion that you're dehydrating. The sweeter the onion, the more sugar it has in it, and the more likely it is to develop clumps in your seasoning. So be aware of that when you're dehydrating onion. And so for me, I'll just shake this when I come in the kitchen in the daytime, or you know, whenever I'm passing by, so I keep it in a spot where I would think about, you know, shaking, put a little shape to it. So believe it or not, that's it. We're going to stir it up. We're going to give it a little taste and see if we're missing anything in it. And anything need to go, anything need to stay, because we're not taking anything out. But what we want to add to it, so we're not taking anything out of it. Taste it and see what it tastes like. Give it a good stir. Pray that you're all having a safe day, a safe weekend, safe holiday. So much going on. But look at that. Don't that look good? And I'm going to tell you what I did differently than the one I showed you earlier. I didn't put any sage in it, but I like sage. And so this just gave me another little twist on it. Because I was looking over there, I said, hey, come on, go with me. Join the party. Get on in here. And so there's still a few clumps, and that is But I think I'm getting it out. That's the onion. So, and then one thing you can do, you can put this in. You know, I love that NutriBullet. You can put it in the NutriBullet and blend it up as well. So let's give it a taste and see what we come up with. Oh my. Oh, that's good. Oh, that is good. Oh, got a little kick to it too. But that's good. I like it. I like it. Ooh. Yeah. It's speaking to my soul. So I'm going to jar this up. Now that got a little kick to it, so you gotta adjust that. And this is gonna be the kicked up one. Excuse me. And that is it. It's my kicked up seasoning. I got to put my label on it. And when you look at the two, this one appears to be a little darker in color. And that's because I added sage in this one. And I didn't in this one. But you talking about good. Maybe coming to a store near you. So those are my seasoning. And while I'm at it, I want to show you a few more things that I did. And I made just a regular garlic salt with that. And then here with the dehydrated garlic, I put it in some oil once I dehydrated it. And I filled it with olive oil. And I just shake it. And we're going to see what we're going to get. It's my first time doing it like that. I normally do it raw garlic. And then I have some more garlic chips that I will put in my pot. If I'm boiling the pot and I need some garlic and I don't want to cut up a whole clove, throw that in the pot and let it go. And then I did some of my peppers that I grew. I took some honey and I did that 11/22 this year. And this is Scotch bonnet. And what I did was I took some of the peppers and I put it in honey. So I'm letting that sit in there and absorb all that goodness in there. And then here I did my chocolate habanero peppers in that honey. So it can go on biscuits. Tara and I were in the process of doing some pecans, and she made a honey butter. So I'm gonna make a honey butter with my kicked up honey. And I think that's it for today, you all. I want to thank you for following us. Thank you for coming over to visit us. I want you to take the time to enjoy your view. Stay safe. And look at that kicked up season. Yeah. What y'all think about that? And if you're making any season or doing anything like that, with any of your herbs and stuff like that, let me know in the comments. Let me know what's going on in your neck of the woods. So I am getting ready to sign out of here. Farmer Jones is gone. His truck broke down, y'all. So y'all pray for us. And we'll continue to pray for you. Much love. Stay safe.